Ritual's best sale is happening now. Get 40% off site-wide. Hurry, only happening for a limited time during the Black Friday, Cyber Monday sale. Before we dive into the 4 steps to lower your cortisol levels and relieve stress, let's set the record straight. Stress isn't always a bad thing. Short-term stress, like during exercise, can be beneficial. It helps us to adapt and grow stronger. Elevated cortisol also helps us to stay alert and focused. But when stress lingers, that's when the problems start. Chronically elevated cortisol keeps your body in a state of alert, making it more likely to store fat and mess with hunger hormones, leading to overeating. So if your efforts aren't leading to results, high cortisol could be to blame. So let's look at 4 effective ways to manage and relieve stress. Number 1 is to stop eating 3 hours before bed. Now, I know everyone rolls their eyes when they hear this, but getting quality sleep on a consistent basis is key. You can do everything else on this list, but if your sleep isn't on point, then it might not matter. Cortisol is always going to be higher throughout the day if you have poor sleeping habits. Your body is relying on cortisol to energize you if you've not gotten enough sleep. And I want to point out that it's not just about quantity, but also quality. Factors like eating too close to bedtime can significantly reduce your sleep quality. I track my sleep and recovery using Whoop, and even if I go to bed at the right time, even if I get enough sleep, if I've eaten within 3 hours of bedtime, this significantly lowers my sleep quality and my recovery score. This is because it takes time to digest our food. So if you go to bed too close to eating, this means it's going to take longer for your body to get into a relaxed, low-stress state. But if you stop eating at least a few hours before you plan on going to sleep, your body has time to digest that food before your head hits the pillow. This means you'll be able to shift into a low stress, low cortisol state quicker. And this usually means your cortisol is going to be lower on average the following day. Step number 2 is to take the right supplements. Now, your habits and your lifestyle are always going to have the biggest impact on your stress and cortisol levels. However, there are nutrients that have been scientifically proven to lower cortisol. One of which that I have seen great results with personally is ashwagandha. It is known for significantly lowering cortisol levels, which can lead to benefits such as reduced anxiety, improved cardiovascular health, lowered heart rate, and better mood. Another 2 nutrients of note are L-theanine and saffron. And I've been taking L-theanine before bed for years for its stress relief and relaxation benefits. And recently I started taking all 3 together in a supplement from Ritual. Stress Relief is a once-daily supplement designed to help reduce stress, promote a positive mood, and support the body's normal cortisol response with first-of-its-kind BioSeries technology to provide instant and extended 8-hour relief. This supplement targets the cortisol response with all-in-one stress support. On days when I am really going through it and my stress levels are high, Stress Relief helps to calm me and improve my mood. And during Ritual's Black Friday, Cyber Monday sale, Stress Relief is now only $32.40 instead of $54, which is a huge savings. To get the 40% off, you can head to ritual.com/Coach Kait 40, and that's going to automatically apply the discount. Shout out again to Ritual for partnering with me on today's video. Number 3 is limit caffeine. Caffeine increases the production of cortisol, and in certain situations, as we discussed earlier, this can be beneficial if you want to increase alertness, such as before a meeting or a workout, for example. But when cortisol levels are chronically high, this is when we run into problems. And this ties in with sleep as well. Because if we don't sleep well, a lot of us tend to rely on caffeine to stay energized throughout the day. But when we drink caffeine too close to when we're planning on going to sleep, well, then we have issues falling asleep, staying asleep, and it basically becomes a vicious cycle. Now, there is a genetic component to how quickly we metabolize caffeine. Now, for most people, stopping caffeine consumption 6 hours before bedtime is enough for it to not impair sleep. However, some people do metabolize it very quickly and can have it later in the evening without experiencing repercussions for their sleep. And on the flip side, some people take a long time to metabolize it. They can only tolerate a very small amount without feeling on edge. So figure out what works for you and take note of how close to sleep you can have it, or if you drink it too late, and adjust accordingly. And finally, number 4 is to do the right exercise. When we do any moderate to high intensity exercise, there's always going to be a bump in cortisol. And this is natural. It's not harmful, actually the opposite. It's beneficial during our workout. And afterwards, if we allow ourselves to relax and recover properly, then cortisol will lower. But if we're constantly doing high intensity workouts day after day without allowing our bodies the chance to recover, this can make the problem worse. And this is why I'm not a fan of chronic cardio. Chronic cardio is when you're running, cycling, or doing any type of cardio that exceeds your aerobic threshold for an extended period of time. Basically, if your heart rate is staying at 70% or higher throughout your workout, that's not ideal. The best type of cardio you can do is low to moderate intensity. This is when your heart rate stays in zone 2, or 60 to 70% of your max. And if you're confused about heart rate zones and the percentages I'm talking about, basically you'll know you're in zone 2 or lower if you can carry a conversation during the cardio session, or if you can breathe entirely through your nose. If you have to breathe through your mouth or you're having trouble holding a conversation, then the intensity is too high. And of course, the pace you can go at while staying in this zone is going to vary person to person. So keep your cardio intensity low if you want to avoid high cortisol. So to summarize, stop eating at least 3 hours before bedtime, take the right supplements, limit your caffeine consumption, or at least be mindful of when you're taking it, and do the right exercise. Is there anything I missed that you have found helpful for relieving stress and lowering your cortisol? Let me know in the comments down below. And remember that Ritual's best sale is happening right now, where you can save 40% off stress relief and other supplements. Hurry, because it's only happening for a limited time during their Black Friday, Cyber Monday sale. So head to ritual.com/Coach Kait 40 to shop the sale before it ends. Thanks guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.